Hey guys, Desolator Magic here with another update on the War of the Spark Mythic Edition disaster, which is now, well, court case worthy because a law firm is putting together a class action lawsuit. Who's the class? Well, it's the people that thought they had an order placed, but now don't. And there could be some verifiable losses there. This isn't the most in and out of court thing I've ever seen, but it's also not the most outrageous, just frivolous nonsense I've ever seen either. So I don't like court cases where you can't tell which way they're going to go, but at least they have a little bit of a point, and at least it's really bad PR for Wizards, and they need that. They need to be called out. They need to have it as public as possible because at that company, there is no accountability for disastrous mistakes. Just cards that ended up getting banned that got through playtesting. No, just keeps happening. They don't fix it. No heads roll. Nobody loses their job. Well, guess what? If this lawsuit gets settled or they lose it, I think Hasbro executives might get out the microscope and start looking at how things are run at Wizards of the Coast because they let them run around like a bunch of toddlers with fireworks. And the results over the last 3 years are exactly what you would expect from toddlers with fireworks, and scissors and knives, and flamethrowers and AK-47s. My only slight issue with this is, it's still a very limited scope company, so it's kind of like suing a school. If you sue a school, you're really just suing all the residents of your city because they're going to pay for whatever you win with their property taxes. Where does Wizards' money all come from? Oh yeah, the customers. So if they lose a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, they're just going to raise the price on something. We're all going to have to pay for it. The right thing to do is to take money away from investors because, oops, we lost a lawsuit, and to take wages and salaries away from executives whose fault it was because they did a bad job at running the company. But that never happens. Welcome to America. So anyway, Werner Weatherton is the name of the legal place thingy, whatever, lawyer's office, I don't know what you call it. They're in Atlanta, Georgia. Don't try to go to the website. It is not loading within a reasonable amount of time. I wonder why. Come on, guys, spend some money on load balancing. Get a Cloudflare account. My God. Like they don't have enough money. Well, from what I can gather from snapshots of their website, and look, the page actually did load. Holy cow. That only took like 30 minutes. They do wrongful death, trucking wrecks, tire failures, medical malpractice, brain injuries, just like in and out of court. It's 100% their fault. Let's just do some quickie little, templated crap. This is the kind of lawyer's office I would assume, this is the impression I'm getting, I don't have proof of this, where you walk in and unless they're 95% sure they're going to win, they won't take your case unless you pay them up front, and even then they probably still won't. Just easy peasy paperwork and talentless lawyers that, you guys know what I'm talking about. So for them to take on this case, it has to be just advertising and PR to get their name out there because this is not quick and easy at all. This is going to be slow and difficult. But the amount of money on the line is crazy. So if just one lawyer at this place is like, let's sue Hasbro, that'll get us a name and we'll be in the news. And, even if the lawsuit gets dropped or the class never occurs or it gets kicked out of court, whatever, we got our notoriety and our name's everywhere. And if they win, they never have to advertise again. My gosh. So their statement says, Werner Weatherton PC filed a class action lawsuit against Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast on behalf of all U.S. citizens, sorry, it's U.S. only, who meet the following criteria. 1. Placed an order for War of the Spark Mythic Edition on eBay. 2. Received a confirmation email from eBay. That's the key. 3. Had their order canceled. And 4. Have not authorized eBay to cancel the contract. Here's the thing. Different people are telling you to do different things because still nobody knows how to handle this. So I think it was Wizards telling you not to cancel the order because they need the order in place for them to cancel it properly so that they can refund you properly or something like that. Otherwise, the PayPal payment, I would assume where they're going with this is it might not include the sales tax because once the order is not there, I don't know. That's not how eBay works. I don't know why they would say that. That's either party can request a cancellation of an order. I also heard that Wizards was telling people to cancel their orders. I'm not sure which is true, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's both. What I can tell you is do not request the cancellation yourself for multiple reasons, but number one being it benefits them. It makes it look like you changed their mind and eBay doesn't penalize them. If they have to hit cancel on an order because of, quote, lack of inventory not in stock, they get heavily penalized by eBay. I highly suspect that's why, allegedly, from what I've heard, they've been telling people to cancel their orders manually. Do not do that. Also, there's all kinds of legalese crap and whatever, but bare minimum, it might seem in court. Like if you canceled the order and it was you who requested to cancel it, then you're okay with it being canceled. It's closed. That's the end of it. You're satisfied with the result, which will not look good in court. The class may not be extended to those people. So leave it there. My issue is that a small amount of people, I guess relatively small, because I only heard like 2 or 3 reports of this with screenshots to prove it, was people in like the first 60 seconds were hitting buy it now, and it said something about blah, 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 quantity, cannot, something, who knows, whatever. So if they were smart and know how eBay launches work, they would add it to their cart and then try to check out. And a lot of those people, in fact, all of them, all 3 of them that I heard from, said that they got to the, okay, your order has been placed page, but they never got an email and the money never got out of PayPal. So the web page said order completed, but the order was never completed or paid for in any way. So what happened is payment failed. And so if you look under, it's like hidden orders. You have to go under like orders under like purchase history and then change the little button to show hidden orders. It'll show up as one that was not made because of payment issues. Then I guess what's happening is the item stays in your cart. Well, it's too late to buy it now. So they thought that their order went through, but it didn't. So because you have to have attempted to hit buy it now and then add it to your cart later because the quantity selector wasn't working with buy it now because it might have already been sold out. That is such a small amount of people, but they aren't getting anything. They aren't getting any compensation from Wizards. Nothing. That sucks. But I suspect that's got to be like 50 or less people totally, because nobody knows how these quick, rapid launches go on eBay. I've done like 10 of them. All kinds of limited edition stuff or new whatever, tech products that just launched, stuff that you can't pre-order because eBay doesn't do that. Anything limited edition, I mean, I've done stuff like that, and I know how you have to do it. I wouldn't have even gone to the buy it now button. So anyway, those people got no product, no nothing, whatever, but good luck proving that you saw a web page that says the order went through. I mean, I'm not sure I even believe these people. As far as I know, if payment failed, it should have said that. You shouldn't have been sent to that page, but all 3 people are reporting the exact same thing, that they saw something saying purchase completed. They just never got any email about it, nothing. Seems like an eBay glitch to me. Good luck suing Wizards about that. You'd have to sue eBay, and their terms of service just basically say you can't sue them for anything. So anyway, back to the people who this affects, because you received a confirmation email from eBay saying you bought this was successful, and then you had your order canceled later, but you have not authorized eBay to cancel the order yet in any way, shape, or form. So you're still in the middle of this damaging thing, and you haven't, I hate to say gone to arbitration, that's not quite right, but received compensation and settled the matter, which would be agreeing to cancel the order. So once again, don't do that. So why is that who they're looking for? Well, according to them, they have a section called "What is the basis for this lawsuit?" So they claim, by listing War of the Spark Mythic Edition on eBay with a buy it now price, Hasbro and Wizards made an offer to sell the set to individuals at the listed price. That statement, by the way, is in itself, as it's written, completely false, which is obviously kind of worrying for the lawsuit. So eBay's terms of service specifically state that when an offer for an item is accepted, there we go, it creates a legally binding contract. That is true. Like that is everywhere in eBay's terms. And they like to protect sellers and they like to protect buyers. But when it comes to buyers suing sellers, it doesn't involve eBay and they don't care. So they're just like, seller assumes all liability for what they're selling. And if they rip somebody off, go to court, sue them, whatever. Who cares? We're not going to protect them. And it is like an official, actual purchase, business, transaction, contract, everything. If they sell something, you hit buy it now, check out, pay them. They are now obligated to send you your stuff. Now, I'm not saying that every time you've ever had an order canceled in your entire life, you can sue them. You have to prove losses, that it was some kind of inconvenience, that you couldn't just turn around and buy it somewhere else. Like, did you need it that urgently? Well, then, what about handling time? What if you wouldn't have gotten it that urgently? And, it's not the easiest thing to bring to court, but you would have a reasonable expectation that they would perform the actions that they're saying, which is you handed them money and the seller will send it within X amount of days and it will be exactly as pictured, basically. That's like the basis of the contract. So they're wrong about saying that by listing War of the Spark Mythic Edition on eBay, blah, 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 all that's wrong. But when they say eBay's terms of service specifically state that when an offer for an item is accepted, so when a purchase goes through, either an offer is accepted or you agree to pay the amount that they're asking. In either case, then it's a legally binding contract. So one of those sentences is true and one of them is not. Once again, very worrying that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I mean, these seem like the, bottom feeder, quickie lawyer, douchebag types of law practices. So, yeah. Then I believe they quote the actual phrase in eBay's terms. You enter into a legally binding contract to purchase an item. When you commit to buy an item, your offer for an item is accepted, or you have the winning bid, or your bid is otherwise accepted. So in other words, second chance offers. So yes, by listing it, they don't assure you anything. You have to have actually bought it. So they go on to say both purchasers and sellers must agree to the above terms prior to buying or selling on eBay. Anybody who clicked the Buy It Now button to purchase War of the Spark Mythic Edition and completed their order, that's the important part, entered into a binding contract. Once again, not the relevant statement. They have forced the seller into a binding contract. That's the part that matters. Of course, you're in a binding contract, but who cares? You're not the one being sued. Who wrote this? By the time that Hasbro and Wizards announced their intent to breach the contract, and we're talking 30,000 orders that they let go through, buyers could only obtain War of the Spark Mythic Edition at a substantially higher fair market value. They're going for like $800 to $1,000 online. By refusing to complete the sale, Hasbro and Wizards are in breach of contract, and affected purchasers are entitled to recover damages in an amount equal to the fair market value of their purchase. So if they knew how to write paragraphs and sentences in English, what they would have actually said is that you bought one and they said purchase complete, and then they later canceled it. So now your only option to get the same item is to pay more, so Wizards owes you the difference. Here's my issue with this. What damages did any of the buyers incur by not getting this? What business process, medical reason, why did they need this? Why was it so urgent that they get their hands on it that they have to, not want to, not would like to, not, I'd still like this, but it's optional. What factually necessary, legally needed reason did you need this product that they owe you money because now you don't have it? Because you have to, you are forced to get it from somewhere else. Not just, I'd still like it, I guess I'll get it somewhere else. Why is War of the Spark Mythic Edition crucial to your business or your life? And if the answer is, I bought it for a customer, I run an LGS, I was going to resell it for fair market value, they owe me the profit margin. Okay, it's a bit of a stretch, but okay. In any other case, I don't think this is going to fly in court. You didn't need this. Nobody needed this. You wanted it, but you didn't need it. But now the whole world is sold out and I'm not willing to pay $900 for it, so I missed out on getting it and my life will be irreparably damaged by not having this in my collection. No, it won't, and you can't assign a dollar amount to that. Do you have a Toyota Camry and the only way to fix the engine is with a box of War of the Spark Mythic Edition and you drive it every day for your delivery job? Okay, now you've got damages. Are you angry that now you can't get a box at all because they're sold out and you thought you had one coming and now the spot you cleared out on your bookshelf is going to remain empty? Cool, an empty bookshelf spot isn't damages. They don't owe you anything. There is this wonderful thing called statutory damages, but I can't think of what statutory damages would be based on when it's, but I wanted it and now I can't have it. A completely optional luxury item that nobody needs for anything and serves no function. It is not a valueless item, though. That's the thing. But you want to talk about a speed bump in court. This is a big problem. So this lawsuit is going to fall so flat on its face when they start trying to kick people out of the class because they're just random people who kind of wanted it. You could say, okay, you can have a DBA and an unofficial, whatever, self-employed, blah, whatever business that isn't a registered LLC in America. So you could say, I was acting as a business, just private income. I was buying this exclusively to resell it. I was not going to keep it. It doesn't matter that I'm an individual person, not a business. That was still my intent, and I'm operating as a business, just a self-employed business, and that you just make up a name, and in most states you don't even have to register it. So I would highly recommend anybody attempting to join this class. I'm sure it'll be one of the questions that they gather is, did you buy this for resale? Because that's the only thing that would be absolutely rock solid in court. Or a long-term investment, because that's with intent to resell, just not immediately. Like, it's just, I was buying this to make money off it, and now I lost the money off it. Like, that's pretty reasonable. I would enter into it like, here's my legal name, and I was buying it under blah, blah, blah DBA. Like, your first name, like, your name's Steve, Steve's Card Resale DBA. And in most states, you don't have to register that. I would suspect that that would protect you from getting kicked out of the class. But by the way, none of this is official legal advice. It's just observations, facts, and opinions that should not be considered legal advice because I'm not a lawyer. I think I can legally tell you, though, that I really know what I'm talking about because I follow a lot of court cases. But yeah, if you're like, I want to join the class because I was damaged because I really, really wanted this product. Good luck with that. It could be an opportunity cost thing. It could be, emotional damages. I doubt it. And honestly, that would be two different cases and two different classes. So yeah. So anyway, the next section is eBay sent me an email asking me to consent to the cancel of the sale. What should I do? It is our position that affected users currently have a binding contract for the sale of War of the Spark Mythic Edition. If Hasbro and Wizards breach the contract, you may be entitled to monetary damages. If you consent to the cancellation, the contract will no longer be binding and you will not be entitled to participate in this lawsuit as a class member or otherwise be able to pursue damages in an individual action. Well, I've got good news for you. Once again, they're wrong. I love how they started this with, it is our position. Well, you idiots don't know what you're talking about, and you've proven that through this entire document. So let me just contradict you real quick. If there is a dispute between a buyer and a seller, once the details are put into the system, it is either 3 or 7 days, depending upon the circumstances, until eBay steps in and solves it for you. So the order cancellation is going to happen whether you agree to it or not. Also, the eBay emails and messages and Wizards messages that they've sent to people and made publicly are very misleading. They make it look like it's your only option and they're advising you to do it without disclosing that that would be it for their contract, that the buy-sell contract. Like they told you to do it, not why to do it, and what the consequences of doing it would be. That looks very bad in court. So you may still be able to join the class, even if you did cancel your order. Now, if you canceled your order because Rudy told you to, because, guys, they switched it to printed demand. No, they didn't, you moron. eBay doesn't even work that way. How would they get it from the printers that quick? You idiot. Holy shit, that idiot will fall for anything. He literally sells on eBay. How do you not know that that's not possible? How would you even listen to a source that says that? I mean, I've said some dumb stuff in my time on YouTube covering Magic, but nothing even comes close to that. I think in a video I accidentally said Mark Rosewater invented Magic the Gathering. Still not even close to, they're summoning 30,000 boxes within the next 24 hours out of the ether of the universe, and they're going to send them out on time. Oh my god, if you don't even provide a tracking number within like a couple days, eBay will auto-cancel the order or file it as investigation and then close the investigation within 7 days. And it'll take 2+ weeks to get them from the printer. They can't switch it to print to demand, and then legally they can't. They made statements in no uncertain terms saying, it is 12,000, that is it. If you buy this, only 12,000 are it. There's going to be no second waves. We're not printing more, period. If they printed 12,001 and a class action lawsuit could prove that that one extra box devalued the rest, they'd be in and out of court the same day. You can't defend that. That's why when I thought, I wonder if they are actually running off more, then I thought, well, no, for about 5 different reasons, no. But not Rudy. Nope, he'll believe anything. So anyway, back to the document. Are you asking Hasbro or Wizards to print more versions of War of the Spark Mythic Edition? No. This lawsuit is about a breach of contract claim only. Actually, to be perfectly clear, it's about the damages incurred because of the breach of contract. That's what the lawsuit's about, not just the breach of a contract. People can breach a contract all they want. The only thing you're legally entitled to is the damages resulting from it. And that's the big hurdle, is proving that one to a court. So how can I join the lawsuit? If you are interested in joining the lawsuit as a class representative and meet all the criteria above, please send my litigation team an email at magic@wernerlaw.com. That's with all E's. So it's WERNERLAW.com. So magic@wernerlaw.com. That's right, everyone. They can create custom specific to class action lawsuits, custom email addresses with their own subdomain on the fly on their server, assuming it's not a third party handling it. But protecting it from 1,000 times normal traffic, well, no, they can't do that. That's too difficult. All you have to do is like one simple thing. Boy, some of these questions are real gems. I do not want to be included in the lawsuit. What can I do? I've got a thought. Let me see if it matches what I think they're going to say. eBay has sent affected users an email asking for your consent to cancel the contract. If you give consent to cancel the contract, you will not be included in the lawsuit. What they should have said is necessarily, because who knows? And no, that's not the best way to not be included in the lawsuit. Even if you do not give consent to cancel, you will still be able to exclude yourself from the class if certified at a later date. Additional details will follow. Well, see, that's because eBay may try to add you, due to a court order, to the class because you meet the criteria. With every class action lawsuit I've ever seen, once you get notified, you just select the box that says, I don't want to be part of the class, and send it in. Or, and this is what I was going to say in the first place, don't send them an email. And then, like I said, after that, if some other database or filter, query, whatever, puts you into the class, you can exclude yourself. I wouldn't. Why the hell would you do that? To receive updates on the matter, email our team at magic@warnerlaw.com or follow them on Twitter at twitter.com/m_Worthington. Weather. I think I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Weatherington, because this is Werner and Weatherington. Bro, one of y'all got to change your names to something that doesn't start with a W. I'm just saying. I've got one. Change it to Warna and then brother. Because, hey, when the cops start calling, Warner brother. The commercial writes itself. So the final thing on the page, if I were to sum it up, is if you don't live in the U.S., tough titties. Jurisdictional issues. Oh, well. And even if Wizards wanted to, as a show of good faith, add foreigners to the class, they can't because the claimants wouldn't have standing in the U.S. and the court has no jurisdiction over you. I follow a lot of lawsuits. So this lawsuit has about as much chance of succeeding in court as failing. Historically, any kind of damages or whatever that include trading cards or anything, any collectible cards, anything where the value isn't direct, provable, and liquid, it's an issue because judges are ignorant and pretty much age discriminatory. It's like watching a Democrat try to pass a law about guns while simultaneously knowing absolutely nothing about firearms whatsoever and getting all the wording wrong. Or watching literally anyone from Congress try to talk about a bill that has to do with computers or the internet. It's disgraceful. Oh, you mean all this thing is on the internet? What does that mean? Why do people need this? Why is it important? It's the internet. The internet's not real. Sincerely, every congressman ever. Yeah, I've had at least small claims judges just be like, oh, it's Magic the Gathering card. What do you mean? That's a fake value. Can you prove it's worth that? And just dismissive. They're just idiots. They're just ignorant jackasses. I've heard about a lot of cases from a lot of people that watch this channel. I've never participated in it because, as you know, I like to settle things outside of court, and I don't mean with arbitration. You cost me thousands of dollars and it's 100% your fault? I'm just going to f*** your shit up until you pay me. I got money to waste on lawyers. Oh, you lawyered up too and now I might not win? Cool, let me think of ways that might make it go my way. Make you change your mind on that. That's how you get crabbed on real quick and cheap. Unfortunately, enough money and enough people are on the line that class action this time, yeah, go for it. So as long as they get a friendly and, let's be honest, young judge who is like, oh, okay, yeah, this is worth that. I get what you're saying. There's value to this product and it's not pretend money. There are actual sales happening on eBay and I can respect this as a product. That clears that hurdle. Then who's added to the class and why? People that are wah, but I wanted it, they're not going to be in the class. I can't think of any sort of damages that they incurred legally. Like emotionally and opportunity loss, and there's nothing fiscal about that. There's no monetary value associated with that. But if somebody says, I intended to resell it, I had reason to believe and proof after the fact that it would be worth about double to triple, fair market. I am out that money because they lied to me and they canceled my order. They are solely responsible for my loss of income. That's bulletproof. I can't even think of a defense against that. It's like an auto win. So of course those people would be included in the class. But Wizards' complaint would be, okay, how do we prove that every single person in the class did not want this for personal reasons? They didn't just want it because they wanted it. They didn't just want to buy it. They were all going to resell it, really? And how would you distinguish between it and how would you prove it? If you can't filter the class and have a judge approve the list of people and say, yes, this is 100% accurate, as close as we can legally get, then the whole thing is thrown out. Sometimes they'll put a stipulation on it, like you have to own and operate an eBay account. That'll prove you're a reseller, or you have to own a business, or you have to prove that you're in the business of selling cards. Which, I mean, no Magic selling LGS store is going to, like, pick this up to resell. I mean, maybe. I guess it wouldn't be unheard of, but if they limited the class to just that, boy, that'd be like 50 people. But that might be how this ends up, because if they're just like, no, people are just going to lie, probably more than half of people would just lie and say, of course I was going to resell it. They might just say limited to people who bought 2 instead of 1 to eliminate them, because the people who bought 1 clearly did not want to resell it. But what if you did and you just want to expose yourself to double the price? You didn't want to invest that much in your little business venture of selling these. But from what I heard, they tend to side with excluding people from the class that shouldn't be there, instead of, oh, we might have missed a couple people that should be in the class. They want it to be 100% accurate and bulletproof so that the company isn't paying out to people who shouldn't get money. So 2 more things. 1, would Wizards be required to pay out anything on this lawsuit if this was almost exclusively eBay's fault? They had a technical glitch. It was their system that sent out the emails incorrectly, and somehow eBay was responsible for relisting the listing 30 minutes later, which no. I find that highly, highly unlikely. So would that protect Wizards and then the class would have to be refiled against eBay? No, because it's a contract between Wizards and their customers. From the customer's perspective, that's that. So if a technical glitch sold more than that, cool. What happens is, as far as I know, Wizards has to pay out the class and settle it and then sue eBay for damages. And they would. Or would they? Because if you sue eBay for millions of dollars because their platform screwed up, the first thing they're going to do is suspend your account permanently and never let you sell again. They won't just say, yeah, we screwed up, let's settle outside of court, or go to court and lose, which nobody would ever do that, especially if you have no defense and no case. Well, just to prevent this in the future, we're kicking you off the platform permanently. Which one's more valuable? A couple $1 million from eBay to cover what you just paid out, so a net gain of 0? Or being able to sell on eBay for the next 100 years? And the other thing is, they might have separate seller-only terms of service where you agree to them when you sign up that say that eBay's not liable for anything under any circumstances. Now, that's not bulletproof, but it's a defense. I mean, when you install Microsoft Windows on your computer, you say, if this literally lights my computer on fire because of a glitch with talking to the firmware, they're still not liable. The software caused some of your files to get deleted on accident, which, by the way, happened to Vista and Windows 10. You agree that they're not liable. Doesn't mean you can't still take them to court and say, well, I don't care what the damn agreement says. This is gross negligence level, and then the lawsuit would proceed. But it's an amount of protection. So I suspect that eBay, somewhere in the terms when you sign up to be a seller, has something like, you can't sue us for damages related to technical glitches and whatever. So, good luck getting past that. It's not impossible, but So Wizards might actually get stuck with the bill on that if it goes that direction. One more thing I wanted to mention, and this is a terrible inaccurate example, but just go with it. At 10 a.m., you're having a giant pancake fundraiser for a thing. So at 2 in the morning, you stop at Walmart and they're out of pancake mix. It's not on the shelf, and you had no reason to believe it wouldn't be on the shelf. The whole event is crap. People want refunds. It costs you thousands of dollars in losses, all because they were out of the pancake mix. Can you sue the store? For many different reasons, no. Like, for example, the irresponsibility of leaving it to the last second. That's a defense in court. But specifically, one of the reasons that I want to highlight is they do not guarantee availability of the product. On eBay, they did. And in this specific case, they did. They said quantity available. They let you check out. I mean, they said they had it. They said you had an order. That's it. There's no sign on the doors of Walmart that says, by you passing through these doors, we agree to guarantee you pancake mix. So in any other case where it's like, oh, they ran out of something and now because you're out of it, we received actual provable damages, unless you have a written verified contract where they're like, we will give you this product 100% guaranteed. In any other case, you can't sue them because they didn't guarantee availability. It's just, oh, it ran out. It is what it is. Now let's talk about one specific lawsuit that's very, very, very similar in the past and why they're phrasing this who can enter the class the way they are. So Fallout 76, the duffel bag controversy. I'm not going to explain it. Look it up yourself if you're so interested. And plus, how did you not hear about this? When you placed an order, they said you are getting an item made out of this material. Here's a picture of it. And they sent something else. They sent you not what you ordered. Open and shut case. That's one where you don't have to prove damages. The damages are the difference in value of the item. It's that simple. If they say they're going to send you 10 ounces of silver and they send you 1, you don't have to prove that you were damaged by the deficit. The damage is the difference in the product. The products are worth a different amount of money. It's that simple. Not, the duffel bag was supposed to look like this and I needed it to do a professional paid contracted cosplay appearance. And because I didn't get the duffel bag, I couldn't do the appearance because the costume wasn't complete. That's damages, but you're entitled to damages just because the one they sent was shit. It was worth significantly less. So the people in the class action lawsuit would have been entitled to the difference in, the difference in value. And then because it was willful, purposeful, and completely gross negligence, legally they'd probably get it trebled, as they say, which whenever something's intentional and the losses and damages were like they knew what they were doing, it wasn't an accident, it's tripled. So trebling equals tripling in the US, I should say. Now, did Wizards intend to defraud people and they knew that this would happen ahead of time and they purposely, not accidentally, put too many for sale? No. So I don't think we're getting triple the price difference this time. But anyway, back to the Fallout 76 case. There was talk of a class action lawsuit. I mean, it was so low value because it would be like $20, but because of trebling, and then you add the lawyer's fees into it, which it was so ridiculously egregious they would be awarded legal fees. I guarantee it. Some people were going after that. So Bethesda, I think it was, they rushed out a compensation thing that says, hey, because this happened, we're sending you 500 atoms, which is $5 worth of in-game currency, give or take, for Fallout 76. And if you agreed to it, I think they just sent you to some basic little webpage that says, yeah, I agreed to it, somewhere in fine print or whatever, or even just, it wouldn't even have to be written on the page. That's your compensation. It's settled now. If you order 10 ounces of silver and they send you 5, and then you start complaining and threaten to sue them, and they say, oh, okay, because this happened, we'll send you a $25 McDonald's gift card. And you're like, oh, okay. You cannot turn around and sue them if it was implied or directly stated that that is compensation for what happened, because you've already been compensated and you agreed to the compensation by receiving it. That's why Wizards didn't offer compensation, although they have. I just haven't mentioned it yet. But separately from that, that's just legal and PR cover your ass. If their offer to settle this entire scenario is to offer to have you cancel your order, and they recommend you do it, and then you do it, it's done. It's settled. Your complaint with them is over because you agreed to drop the purchase agreement. And that's why they're saying you can only join the class, we think, in our opinion, if you did not agree to cancel the order. Because if you did, it's already settled. Now, could a argument be made that says, well, Wizards was incredibly misleading in telling people to cancel the order, or eBay, their communications were misleading, telling people to cancel the order because it looked like it was the only way to get your money back. And I will say, eBay makes it look like it's mandatory, like it's the only action you can take, so take it. If you don't, you might be out all the money. I mean, that's, from my communications with people requesting cancel my orders, that's what the email looks like to me. I think every statement from Wizards was just like, please cancel your order. And then like nothing, no reason, no, here's your consequences. Hey, if you do this, if you accept these terms, you can't sue us. I didn't see that anywhere in their statements. So I think people with canceled orders are going to be allowed into the class, but a judge will have to approve it. Oh, and speaking of that, what a wonderful segue to the end of this video. A judge has to approve any of this. Like, for the lawsuit to exist, a judge has to approve it, not just throw it out as some, I was going to say slap, but not every state has that. Some frivolous waste of time BS, let's put it that way. They'll just be like, this is way too shaky, this will never stand up in court, don't waste their time, boom, they won't even let it proceed. Do I think a judge would do that? No. Not in this circumstance. No, I think this will proceed. But I also think that from what the lawyers said in their statement, they don't have a very good grasp on what's going on and the details of this scenario. Maybe it could have just been how it was written. Maybe a paralegal got a couple individual statements of words wrong. Maybe I'm reading into what they wrote wrong. Maybe it's just a summary and they do know what's going on because they picked up the case. I don't know. Well, an ideal end result would be a lot of people getting a lot of money and it just absolutely being a black eye on Wizards and their bank account. And then hopefully they learn their lesson. All I want is for Hasbro to be like, what the hell? You screwed this up so bad we're getting sued. Because it's not Wizards getting sued, it's Hasbro. You can't sue Wizards. There's no company called Wizards of the Coast. It's just like a separate business operating name of Hasbro. There is one company and it's called Hasbro. I'm pretty sure this ain't no like Google Alphabet umbrella bullshit. In other words, I doubt that Hasbro is a holding company because they existed before Wizards. It was an acquisition. They dissolve their business, you take the name and operate under it. Done. So now Hasbro has to waste a bunch of money, and they are going to be up Wizards' ass about what the hell led to this. Wizards executives are going to shift all the blame to eBay, and then it's going to be revealed in court that that's probably bullshit. So this whole thing's going to blow up. Hopefully Hasbro will just run through the office metaphorically with a metaphorical machete and start metaphorically eliminating people, as in firing them metaphorically with their metaphorical machete. Although, let's be honest, it depends how much money they lose on this. And maybe there will be a shakeup in management and accountability. Yay! And once again, to reiterate, the only way that this lawsuit that I see would easily and immediately fall apart is if they don't think that they could get an honest class of people who are actually damaged. They would get a bunch of personal people who are just pissed off and want free money. If the judge says there's no way to separate them, this will go nowhere. And, I'd almost give that a 50-50 of working because of that. So anyway, thanks for watching. This whole scenario is a very interesting disaster. This is still shorter than a Lawful Masses video. I'm proud of that, and I'm also proud of you if you made it all the way to the ending. But to piss off all the ADD people who didn't, if you ain't new to this channel, you already know what to do. Post a comment down below related to your favorite breakfast food and why or how you like to prepare it, or I don't care. And it'll confuse the shit out of all the people who didn't watch this entire video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next video.